Hello, everyone, and welcome. So I am a hot mess tonight. Pat and I just did a whole bunch of yard work, and so I'm just filthy, and I smell like smoke from burning leaves and stuff. But anyway, so I'm gonna take myself off the screen, just put this on the big screen, and probably just remove my face because you guys don't even need to see that. Anyway, hopefully you can hear me all right. And oh, thanks. Thumbs up for Shanna makes it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Um, I think I'm gonna bump this on. We'll just have the comments kind of rolling on there. Doing good. I'm glad that hey, Denise checking in from work. Let's just say hi to everybody real quick. We've got Harley 2000 Teresa. We've got Jay, Paula Rice. We got Miller and Linda Gorman and Blossom and Anne. And hopefully I haven't missed anyone. Let's see, I'm just rolling through. Um, anyway, Jay sometimes will do an unboxing, and I've got a box that's been sitting on my floor for a couple days. Hey, Patricia. Oh, you can't burn leaves? Yeah, we can burn them here. We have a little fire pit, and as long as you do before 6 o'clock or whatever, you can do that. I don't know. Anyway, so I've got this box here. This is Spellbinders, and I haven't opened it up yet. And so I thought we'd just go ahead and open it up. So I'm going to grab a craft knife. Now, this isn't going to be exciting because this is just consumables. You know, I do a lot of videos, so I have to buy a lot of cardstock and stuff like that. And so I did get some, and it's mostly going to be that. I can't even remember what all's in here, but I think it's primarily cardstock. And so we'll just look real quick and I can show you. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, it's not going to be very exciting, but I did get a replacement platinum, and it's good to show you right now anyway because they're going to be having, all the sales are going to be taking place right now, just because we're coming up on that Black Friday. And Jay and I were talking about the golds the other day, and I'm like, I've got to get some of these. So I did order some, but I'm going to just pull out and show you what I ordered. And I'm sorry about all the noise. It's all bubble wrapped. So let's just start from here. Okay, I destroyed my magnetic insert from my Better Press. And I did that. I'll tell you how I did it. I had gotten some ink on there, and I tried some like nail polish remover or something. And it kind of blurred my lines here on mine. And so what I'm going to do is replace it with this one. And I'm going to put acetate over it, and I'll start using acetate on top of it so that it'll keep it nice and clean and it won't be messed up. So that was a necessary purchase, not a fun one at all. And of course, most of this isn't, but I'm going to show you this. I love Spellbinders cardstock, and this is chiffon, and it is really a pretty color. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's chiffon. And then I love Bellini, and I was out of it. I'm basically just picked up the ones that I was out of. This is a great color. And you can never have enough fern. I love the fern cardstock. And I didn't have any of it, and I've die cut stuff out for tonight. So we're going to actually be using some Michael's green tonight, but I needed to get some of that. And then I ordered some cranberry because I love the cranberry color. And I haven't had Oceanside, and I thought that was really pretty. Actually, I had some samples of it, but I thought that was really pretty, and I wanted to get it. We've got a glare on there. And then I got the Spellbinders Treasured Cardstock, the gold assorted, and you get the glitter metallic, you get the matte metallic, the brush metallic, the mirror metallic, and the pearl metallic in this. And so I thought it would be fun to have an assorted set for that. And I am using some Goldenite that I've already die cut out. That's not Spellbinders because I did not have it. But that's what I ordered. Not that exciting, but it'll be fun to have this to add to my cardstock so that I can use the colors that I like. Let's see. You need that assortment at your house. The gold, yeah. I think it's super pretty. And Spellbinders, they just have such great cardstock. So let's see, what is this showing? StreamYard is showing me some options here. Okay, for the comments. So we've got wide, tall, and regular. I think I kind of like the tall. I don't think it'll be in the way. And you can do medium font, make it a little bit bigger so you can see it. We'll go with that. Anyway, hopefully you guys don't mind having your chat on the screen. If you do, we can shut it off. But anyway, so what I had planned for this evening is, and you guys know I've been working through my old stuff, just trying to work with it. This stuff's not very old. It's the season, but it came out earlier this year. This is the Holiday Flurry embossing folder. This is October 25. I'm going to use it for background panels for that. But you guys know I have this, my favorite bow and bell scallop frame that I use a lot. We're going to work with the bells and the bows on this. We'll even use some of the frames, and we're going to use the Christmas foliage die set. It came out in August of 2025. So it's been out for a few months. And then also the seasonal wreath foliage, will work with it as well. And it also came out August 10th, 2025. So I have done some die cutting and thought we would work with them. I thought the greenery would go nice with the bells. I don't think I've done, I was trying to think if I've used a bell. I know I finally used a couple of the bows a couple times, but I don't know if I've used a bell. And if I have, I've forgotten. So anyway, so I've got basically two color schemes. I think we'll start out with the red and the green just because I have it more prepared. But what I was doing was taking my scraps, and I think I showed you guys, I keep my scraps, what do I do with them? In the stash stacks. And then inside of here, I did the other day, I took and I organized them by color in these little sheets. And so I basically took my blue pack and my red pack, and I was just busting through. When you have these small dies like that, you can just bust through your scraps. So they are much more organized, and I'm going to try and kind of dwindle them down to something. So I've assembled three of the bows, and I will tell you on that metallic cardstock, it's a bit of a struggle to assemble them because it doesn't want to stick, especially the Spellbinders. This is the Spellbinders metallic silver, and so I had trouble sticking, and I've got a lot of gluey stuff on there, so I need to kind of clean that up. But then I've got just some matte gold, and this is not Spellbinders. This is, I think this is actually Love from Lizzie's matte gold, and I went ahead and assembled some of them. So what I have done is I took the Holiday Flurry embossing panel. I cannot speak this evening. And I embossed it. It is not a 3D, it's just a regular embossing folder. And then I took my white Hero Hues pigment ink and just lightly went over it and just added some white to it. And I think it really makes the design pop on there. I think it looks really pretty. So you need that assortment in your house. Okay, let's see. How does Spellbinders cardstock compare to Stamps of Life? I have never used Stamps of Life cardstock, so that would be a good question. And maybe somebody in the chat could tell you how that works. You've got yours organized that way too, Patricia? Yeah. Oh, thank you. You always enjoy my content. Anyway, so I just did that, and just to bring out the color in that, and especially because we're gonna have white anyway. So let's go ahead and start working with what we've got going on here. Let's start with our panels, and then we'll bring in our bits and pieces. So I didn't see Jim. Is Jim here tonight? Did anybody see Jim? Was he in your live, Jay? I was kind of trying to prep. I had you running and was trying to watch and prep at the same time, but I wasn't really paying much attention to the chat. So usually Jim's here. I haven't seen him. Hey, ECR. That's what you do for yours. You put acetate under the plates. Yeah, I need to do that because I just destroyed. I should bring that in and show it to you. I don't know if it's in arm's reach or not, but yeah, I destroyed it. So it looks terrible. In fact, I'm at the point in my crafty career, video making career here, that a lot of my stuff needs to be like my Misty. It is so, ugh. I clean it and it's just so messy. I feel like it's kind of embarrassing to have on a video, but anyway, that's kind of how my Better Press plate was. And I was like, I need to get it fixed. So we're going to layer these up is what we're going to do. And then we're going to create some kind of I've got my Merry Christmas, and this was included with the um, seasonal wreath foliage. You have your Merry Christmas shadow sentiment, and then you have these bits. And that's kind of what I have here. I even brought in some glitter. I don't usually like glitter, nor do I usually work with glitter, but I had some in my scrap bin, and I thought, well, we'll die cut it out and see what we wind up using. But anyway, that's that one. And then for the blue tones, I've kind of used the Christmas foliage dyes for that, and then the silver for the, I was thinking silver and blue look really nice together, and then we could just do a traditional red and green with this if we get that far. So your Misty is well used too, Patricia. Let's see. What's Jay talking about? He posted photos of museum today. I think he's out doing that. I'm not sure who's at the museum or whatever, but anywho, we're going to get to go on with this, and I think I'm going to lay this one down on here, and we'll pop up the other one. We're just going to go 3 layers. I really didn't have a lot of time to prep because basically what we were doing is taking the garden completely down, and he was rototilling it and everything. And then cutting all of the flowers back and cleaning up all of that and everything. And so, and then any leaves that were in the beds or in the yard, we were taking care of that as well. So we did that. And he was, a lot of times he does all the yard work, but today I helped him and he was very thankful of it. He's kind of got, his foot has been bothering him. And so um, he needed, he needed some assistance. And so I was able to help him today, which normally he does all that kind of stuff. But I'm going to bring in some foam tape and we are going to pop this up. So I am going to tell you guys, I have had a crazy week. And I'm glad to be able to go live tonight and just be here and hang out with you guys and have some sense of normalcy. So I'm thankful for that. I did have the kids all over for lunch today, which that was really nice, especially because my youngest daughter got to come. And a lot of times we don't see her as often just because of her work schedule. So it was nice to have her. And of course, we'll have everybody for Thanksgiving. So that'll be fun. Oh, you were talking about Jim. He's at the museum. Okay, thank you. I was trying to figure out what you're talking about. I was trying to think. I saw some pictures. Yes, I saw some pictures that I think that must have been from the museum then, Jay, right? Some of the pictures that he was posting. Yeah. Hey, Jana, welcome. Jana, I was just telling the chat how I've had kind of a crazy week. Won't go into the details, but I'm glad to be able to go live and just hang out with you guys tonight and kind of get back into a little bit of a normal routine. Anyway, so we're just going to create some bells with a swag and some Merry Christmas sentiments, and we'll see what happens. So, yes, I did, girl. I needed it. I needed it. So, anyway. All right. So, I'm going to get this. Like, Jay had messaged me and said, hey, are you going to go live tonight? And I sent him a picture of my crafter and I said, well, if I can get this cleaned up, it was destroyed. So he was just laughing. He's like, oh, it was destroyed. But I was able to clean things enough so that I could my desk was a disaster. And so I was able to clean it enough so that I could go live and have my desk clean. The kids were here and I said my youngest daughter was here. Well, anyway, she wanted to look through some cards. So I drug out all these card bins and everything. And we were digging through them. And so we had cards and bins and stuff all over the place. Yeah, Jay said his is usually destroyed this time of year, which makes perfect sense. And I had brought in the, which I will show you guys. I brought in the tub that I had taken. I mentioned to you guys that I had taken, all my stuff for Fergus for the ladies retreat at church. I had taken a tub and I had my the ones that I had created myself in the tub at church. And so I brought it in and it was on my desk and we were actually I'm working on one. There was a lady that had purchased the kit. I say purchased the kit. We just put a small amount of money just for the supplies for the kit, and then we put them together. But anyway, she was sick and unable to make it, and asked her friend who was going to it to make hers while she was there. Well, um, I put the glue in the wrong spot. You're not going to make two of those Ferguses in a setting. And so I offered to do that woman's for her. And so today, my sister was wanting to finish hers up and work on it. So today I was working on that lady's Fergus while my sister was working on hers, and we were visiting. Anyway, but I brought them and I put them on my desk so I could show them to you guys. So last week I did show the Halloween one. This is what I'm calling my Christmas one. I've kind of got it in the pink and the green. It's got the green on the top of the hat, and then we have all the florals and everything. And then the back of it, I didn't go too crazy on with this one, but we did on the hat a little bit. And there we go. So we've got that. And then this is what I'm calling my winter one. And it's really pretty with the blue and the gray. And I've got my hat we've got snowflakes on the hat. And we've got it. So these two here are actually the two styles that I made available at the church. They could do the red one or the blue one. And so I made those available at the church. Yeah, the winter one is pretty. I think it's probably my favorite too. I still haven't got the sunflower one done that I wanted to do, but kind of the fall one. Anyway, but yeah, super, super fun. But it does take a bit of time. And I will tell you, I was stressing out leading up to that. I think I probably said that last week, but thinking, how am I going to get all of these ladies to get these things assembled at this? And they were just so fantastic. We had some quilters in the bunch, and so um, I mean, it took time because it just takes time to stitch all that. And I thought some of them might choose to glue them because our pastor's wife said, well, some of them will glue them, but they all chose to stitch them. And so it went pretty well. So I know I mentioned that last week and I showed the Halloween one, so I thought I'd show that. So I just assembled that bell while I was talking through it. But like I said, the metallic, to get those pieces to stick is a little bit of a struggle. So especially the silver metallic from Spellbinders. So what I've got here are just some bits and pieces. We've got our bow. Let's go ahead and get it assembled. And I think I'm looking for a piece of it. It has like these decorative, I see one of them. Where? These decorative pieces that go on the inside, and I'm only seeing one. This is how it goes. Sometimes you lose things when you die cut out ahead of time. I don't know where it is, but we can skip over that because it's not that important. Basically, you have these little pieces here that go inside here to add dimension to your bow. Let me hold that up so you can see. But you have two of these, and I'm only seeing one at the moment. So I'm going to hold off on assembling that until I see if I have another one. And if we don't, we'll just omit that part because it's not necessary for the bow. So you actually have the back layer, this layer, and you've got these inside pieces to the bow, and then you have a little knot for the bow. And so I'm going to go ahead and get these assembled, and then we'll just wait and see if I find that other little red piece. If I don't, I'm not going to stress about it. And so, of course, Spellbinders with all their detail, you've got a lot of embossed detail on there and everything. So we'll put a little dab of glue right here in the center. And we're going to bring in this little piece here. I need my little tool. Oh, there we go. And I think it actually goes, there's like a little indentation on the top of it. So if you turn it and have that little indentation on there, you'll get it laid down on there right. And then just take and clean up your glue. And there we go. So what I was thinking was I wanted to create like like a bell set like that, and then have a swag. Stuck in the die. Ooh, there's a good question. That is entirely possible. But it is not there. So thanks for asking that, because yeah, that does happen. For sure. It's probably stuck on the piece of this or something, but I'm not going to worry about it because it's not critical. So I have all of these little, these remind me of holly leaves. They have the texture of it. They've kind of got the vine or the, the like vining in it or whatever. And then these other ones are kind of plain. So we're going to just, and I think I'm always drawn to this style of the leaf as opposed to the other one. I don't know why I always work with it instead of the other one, but and we may not need a lot. I don't know. I'm thinking because I kind of want my bells to be the star of the show on this particular card. Sticky pawls, though, you might get a great pawl embossed. Yeah, let's see. Oh, okay. You're talking about the cat walking on the embossing powder or whatever. So we have these. Now, I like this one, and I think I only have one of it. It has a place where you can put your berries, and then these do too as well. But I'm going to just, I think I'm going to go with these, and we can add berries wherever we want to, is what I'm thinking. But I think we're just going to kind of cluster them up. It's going to be pretty simple, but I think it'll be pretty. So if we take these and we lay them down here like this, and we got room for Merry Christmas down here, I think it could just be really very simple. And right now, I'm just kind of trying to figure out my design and what it's going to look like. And I have a lot more pieces, I think, than what I probably need, just based upon what I'm doing here. And I think we can have a really simple card. Isn't that pretty? I think that could be really pretty. And I even had, die cut out some of these because I thought we might use those, but I really don't think we need them. We could probably put some on the inside or something like that, but I'm just going to proceed in this direction and we'll see what happens. So we'll lift these up and get our leaves stayed down. And I went back and tried to look through my lives to see, had I done this on a live? I can't recall if I really worked with the bells or not. I know I've done the bow a couple times, but so if this seems like a repeat, I apologize. I do so many videos and so many cards, and I can't remember what all I do. So if it seems similar, we're just going to do it again. Plus, we're reusing, which has been my quest this month, to reuse things that I have and get more than one use out of them. Because, I have a tendency to get the new product in, create with it once, and then not use it again for a while. So I did bring out in my videos, I've brought out some of last year's Christmas product from Spellbinders and worked with it. And see, this one is not wanting to stick. So I've been trying to revisit some of last year's Christmas, and now I'm also visiting this year's, in which, I worked with it in August when it came out, when it was released, and then kind of put it away. And it's like I think now some people are just now starting to think about Christmas and those products. So I'm kind of bringing them out again. So to kind of keep that in place, I'm putting some foam tape on the back of that, and just to try and keep those elements in place. Because of that metallic, it just does not want to stay. So I'm going to do that with the bell and the hanger thing. And I'll do it with both of them. This one I think is dry. I did put my tweezers on it for a little bit and pinched it just to give it time to kind of set up, but evidently when I put it over there in the bin, it started shifting and moving around, so I had to get it laid down there to where it won't shift. Anyway, and I had quite a bit of trouble with the silver metallic from Spellbinders as well. But anyway, so you guys haven't seen the bells. Okay. I've been thinking too, you know what I have not done in a long time is craft roulette. I think I told, I think I I did like every week until I hit my 100th card, and then I quit. And so I was thinking that I might want to start trying to do that again just for some fun. So I thought about that tonight, and as Jay was creating his, and I thought I need to start doing that again for fun. So we're going to take our 2 bells and lay them together. And then we've got our bow we're going to put on there, and then we're going to have our Merry Christmas. And I think it's going to be very simple, but very festive. And this one is in particular going to be very traditional because we're using our traditional colors for it. So I think that'll be pretty. Now, I think that I'm going to need to put some foam on it because I'm going to have a hard time getting it to stick to that metallic that's behind there. And I'm just using these little tiny, these are 1 millimeter dimensional squares. So there's not a lot of dimension there, but just enough. I think that's pretty. I think we might be able to bring some berries in and use those on there. I wonder if we could, would it be too, I think this one's the biggest one. I think that might be too much to add that. What do you guys let me know what you think about that? Let's see, what is the chat saying? I need to catch up. There's new comments. Oh, Paul is asking you if you got yours submitted. It's too big. I agree. I agree. Okay, Janice says no flower as well. Okay, we can put that on the inside of the card because I think it would be nice on the inside. So did you get it submitted, Jay? Everybody's inquiring minds want to know. Now, the back of this gold actually has a paper backing, so I won't have any trouble getting it laid down on there. Now, but the silver metallic that on our next card, I probably will have a little bit of trouble getting it laid down on there. So I think the embossed panel with the white ink that I put on there, and then the scalloped frame and the stitched frame, and this little set, which is kind of the bare minimums, is really enough for this card. I really think it is. I just dropped the lid to my pokey tool on the floor, so if you heard that bouncing around, that's what that was. Now we could I'm going to take my little, must have been something else that fell because my lid is on there. I was going to take these and kind of set them on there because I think we could add a little bit of red. Since I have those die cut out, I think we could add a little bit of that, and that would not be too much. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll just put a little dab of glue down there and just bring in a little bit more red since we have them. A lot of times I just die cut and die cut and die cut, not having any idea what I'm going to be using or what's going to work. And so I just make sure I want to have enough pieces of things to work with. And then I had this kind of the glitter, but I'm not a glitter person. I'm just not a glitter person, and I'm just gonna have to accept that I'm not, and I don't have to use it. You do like the berries. Cordelia says she does like the berries. Let's see here. You could keep it out for another project in the future. Yeah, I could. I have a bad habit of when I get done with my projects and I've completed them and everything, and then this is sitting there, or one of these is sitting there with some bits and pieces in it, dumping it into the trash can. You printed a bunch more trays to sort die cuts. I love how you do that. Yeah, it is nice to kind of get you organized and everything. And plus, a lot of times I have no idea what direction I'm going to go in. And so I'm like, okay, just start die cutting and see if you can come up with something. And so I'll get these trays out. I'll just start die cutting and just kind of throwing things in there. And then we'll just see what happens. So that's what I have a tendency to do. So we've got our Merry Christmas here on the outside. I think it's really pretty. We've added some of the berries, and I think they just add to it. I think it's a really pretty card. Now, this particular set, I don't know. I think I've mentioned it before. If you look on Spellbinders site for it, there's a card in there that's on usually the first one I see, and it's my card, and I love it. It's on the frame set for this, and it's also on there for this particular set here as well. So I was so surprised when I went and I saw it, and I'm like, that's my card. So super fun. Anyway, so we have this one, and I think we could, I don't know, let's look. What happened to our little, it's in here. We could bring this in and maybe add some fun to the inside of our card or something. I don't know. Trying to figure out how I could use that. Or we could just put this on there at the bottom. I don't know. And then put some berries on there. Could do that. I'm just debating. We have this one. I don't know. This is a smaller one. This is the one I want. I could do this and put it on the inside of our card. Let's do that just so, you know, a lot of times I don't finish the insides of the cards or I don't add stuff, and we have this stuff. We should use it. And why not make the inside look very pretty like the outside? So that's what we're going to do here. And then I'll have less pieces in my tray that have the potential of winding up in my trash can later, which is terrible. Okay, come on, Cluster Queen. I know, get it together, right? I'm just off this week. I'm just off. So I think we'll just kind of add it here at the bottom of our card, and then we're going to bring in some of those berries and fill in those spots where they go. And I think that'll be nice. Trying to get it how I want it. How do I want it? We'll do it like that. I know that kind of looks weird, but I want to get these berries in here. Wait a minute. I'm not doing a very good job clustering here, am I? It'll be okay. It's all going to come together. See, these leaves, they have like these kind of weird circular spots on there, and that's where I put my glue, and that's where your little berries are going to go. So we'll grab some of those and get those laid down on there. And there's different sizes of berries, and I think I just die cut out one particular size, so we're going to just use them. I don't have the smaller ones. I didn't grab that. There's like a couple different dies with this set that has different sizes of berries, and I think I grabbed the one that was the bigger berry, but I think it'll be all right. If I can get that turned over so I can get it laid down. There we go. Gotta have the right tools. So we have that on the inside, and then I didn't die cut out a different colored berry for the center of that flower, so we might just bring in one of the red ones and just kind of layer it up there. Just make it look like a center. We could add some color to it with a marker if I had one handy, but anyway, okay, so I'm going to call that quits on the inside of that. And there we go. I think it's really pretty. Yeah, the tools make it all better. It's your card, but you like it at the top. Well, it's a little late. I was thinking about an enamel dot too, Jay, but I thought, I don't know if I want it on the inside of the card because it'll kind of lay funny. And so that's why I skipped that. So it is pretty. Thank you. I thought it was pretty. So anyway, we've got the blue materials in here. So and the silver bell. So let's see what we can do with those. Now I need to get, I did not, this is my Spellbinders cardstock that I have ready. I did not take I didn't prepare my card bases yet. So let's see what we want to do with this. I want to make sure I've got, because I'm using my scraps, so I've got a multitude of colors there that I am using for that. And so I want to make sure I get the right colors because I have several different colors of blue. And I've even got a dark blue that I used for the sentiment here that is really dark. I think this is the indigo, but I thought that'd be pretty. Anyway, so I think we're going to just kind of keep it simple and do something similar to what we did with this one. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll use this embossing folder and we'll go ahead and ink it up just like we did the other one so that I can show you how I did it. I'm sure you guys all understand that. But anyway, let me grab this big hog and bring it in. And it's a regular embossing folder, so we're just going to use one of our C plates with the rest of our sandwich. And I think it's going to be pretty. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I love embossing folders. I think if you want to elevate your card, here's my tip. Bring in an embossing folder. And that will do it for you because they are gorgeous. You have one little box with enamel dots. It's probably more than you'll ever use. Will that keep me from buying more? Probably not. I have got several, from different companies. And I usually keep the Spellbinders right there with their cardstock in the front of it. So when I'm wanting to, bring in something Spellbinders, I can just grab that bin that has my card bases and it's got my enamel or my embellishments right there. So I can just grab it. There we go. So I'm just basically running that across there and it's really doing a nice job. It's not, even though it's not 3D, it's not really hitting the paper, the cardstock. I mean, it's just hitting the raised elements. So, I mean, it's just gorgeous. Blossom, you like embossing folders? I do too. I just think it's really pretty. So, I mean, right there, boom. You get a lot of bang for your buck with an embossing folder. So if you're struggling with your cards, buy you some embossing folders and start embossing stuff. And you're going to have some great cards. They're going to make you look like a superstar. I love them. And then if you get the 3D ones, you get even more texture and dimension. But for the longest time, I just had the regular, because I do the embossing folder of the month club. And so I get, I get 12 new embossing folders every year. But I also get a lot of the 3D ones as well. So, and I will tell you, the embossing folder of the month is it's like an inexpensive club kit. And it, I think. So anyway, let's shift gears and let's bring in another nested die set and just do something a little bit differently. Let's bring in this Perfect Touch Arches and use it. And then we'll have a little bit of a different look. This is what we will do. I want to make sure I get to see enough of that. Yeah, we'll do that one. And then we can do, I got a card base. And I don't know, we need some room for our bells. Yeah, this one's going to be, we're going to need a little bit more room for our bells because this is going to be kind of a bigger, I think we're going to use more of the floral elements and stuff on there. So I think we can see a good amount of that. So I think we're going to go in this direction here. Okay. So I'm going to use the Empress and get these die cut out. I didn't plan these ahead of time. So let's see if we can get both of these laid down on here and die cut out at once. So we'll only have to do one pass through there. I need to bring in my little lint roller and get all these little paper hairs off of here. Boy, this is going to be tight. I do have the big plates, but I'm not going to drag them out. All right, let's just get these. And you can tell I use this Empress. These plates and that magnetic panel or plate they are rough. And I've accidentally die cut into them. Santa's vest and my Christmas tree. So it happens. Oh man, I messed that one up. Let's see if we can get that laid back down on there. I didn't get it cut out right. And I hate that because I'm not going to waste this Spellbinders paper. Oh man. Yeah, Houston, we have a problem. All right, we will die cut other stuff out of this at another time. I tried to get everything on my card base. Ooh, I think that was the only color that I had of it. Oh, no, there's one. Okay. Let me use that. And that's a different color too, isn't it? Is that going to work? All right, we're going to go with this because I've got some of this in my florals because I was using scraps and I remember that color. So that's, I probably have more. I just don't have them cut down to panels. I store my Spellbinders cardstock in these as well. And I just cut down so many panels and I have more of it. I just haven't cut them down. So, but we're going to go with this. It'll be okay. All right. All right. Here we go. So is everybody prepared and ready for Thanksgiving? What's everybody doing for Thanksgiving? I'll be just sitting here. We're going to have a huge crowd. So you love your Empress, I bet, and I bet you probably do a better job at taking care of your plates than I do because I know you regularly clean yours and all that and everything, and I probably don't do as good of a job with that as I should have. So anyway, so what's everybody doing for Thanksgiving? We're gonna have, I think I don't know if I told you guys this or not. I'm making the turkey. Got a big old turkey. In fact, we had to set it. We had to set it in the refrigerator tonight because it needs, so many days to thaw out when you have a big one. And so we set it down tonight. It's in there. And then my brother is gonna bring the ham. That's his. He likes to do a spiral glazed ham, and that's kind of his specialty. So he'll be bringing that, and then we're gonna have dressing and sweet potato casserole, and we'll have regular mashed potatoes. We're gonna have green bean casserole. We're gonna have scallop corn. We've got Roadhouse, Texas Roadhouse rolls and their butter, which is yummy. And we're gonna have pumpkin pie, and we've got pumpkin roll. We've got chocolate cream pie. We're gonna have deviled eggs. I had to go through the menu today with my kids. They were asking what was on the menu, and I was rattling off because it's the same thing every year. And I didn't say deviled eggs, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna have deviled eggs," um, and I hadn't got to the dessert yet. Oh, well, we're having pumpkin pie, and yes, we're having pumpkin pie. We have all the regulars. Oh, and the other thing that they added was, "Are you gonna make Chex Mix?" So I'm gonna have to get some Chex Mix made for them because that's a tradition. My mom always made that, and the kids are used to having that. So I'm gonna have to get some of that made. And then Hannah's bringing a couple of the dishes, and Courtney's bringing. She makes some really good cheese balls, and she's going to bring those. And so we'll have some appetizers and stuff. So it should be really fun. Oh, so Denise said that her sugar just hit 300 listening to that menu. They're going to have potluck at work, she said. Let's see what Jana's saying. Jana will be ordering pizza because it's just her hubby and her, and Oh, Blossom's daydreaming about smoked brisket from Foodie Queen. Now, my son-in-law, Blossom, that's married to my oldest daughter. He's a state trooper, but both of them are with a, anyway. He is really big into smoking brisket and all the things. So, and he normally, when they host, a lot of times that's what they'll serve. You do Chex Mix on the grill. Ooh. Hi, Margot. She's saying hello to Denise. Anyway, so now what we've got here is we have silver bells. Silver bells. Are you guys looking forward to the Christmas shows? I know I am. And I can't wait to start watching some of them. So I'm looking forward to that. I have been watching the Hallmark ones, but I'm talking about the old school ones. I love the old school ones. Okay, so for this one we've got, and hopefully we're gonna hopefully cluster up some more here. I gotta, Jana just called me the cluster queen, so I've got to try and live up to that and see if I can put something together here that looks halfway decent. Now for this blue one, just for the purposes of, I do have all the bits and pieces for it. I see here. Hopefully I've got the knot to the bow. I'm finding the little decorative elements there. And then that. I do. Good. Okay. So we'll add those and you guys will get the full effect. But we've got all kinds of little bits and pieces that we can add here. Let's go ahead and assemble our bow. How are we doing on time? It is 8:45. We are doing great. I think we're going to finish both of these cards. Oh, I'm Mr. Heat Miser. Yes, that is glitter green, Jay. And I said, it's not my jam. I don't know. I guess I need to watch somebody working with it, and because it's not my jam. I don't know. I'm just not a glitter person. I don't know. I better be. I got some of that Spellbinders gold glitter cardstock, but I think that'll be really pretty. I don't mind the gold glitter so much as, I don't know, some of the colored glitter. It's just not my thing. Ooh, there it went. So we just have to lay these down, tuck it behind another foliage of the glitter. Yeah, I kind of held it up to that other one. I was thinking about doing it, but I didn't do it. Have I got the right one here? Hopefully. And see, these are just little pieces, dimensional pieces that you can add to your bow to add. And you could actually, take a blending brush and darken those, or even use a darker color of your cardstock, and then it would make them look kind of like the inside of the bow piece, and it would make them look more dimensional. But I'm not doing it. Okay, so we've got that. That's going to be pretty, and we're going to just layer up some of these. So I've got all kinds of blue colors here, and we're just going to have a variety of blue. Where's the other one? I don't know what I have. There we go. Okay. So I think maybe we'll put the dark on the back and that on the front. All right, let's just see what we can come up with here. I've got 3 colors of blue. This indigo is almost, it almost looks black. It's really dark. You can see the blue on it, but anyway, maybe that one should go in the back. Okay, we're going to assemble some more things before we get going here. We've got some little floral pieces, and we might not, I don't know if we'll use all these or not, but we shall see. What have I got? I've got the light blue. I think I need to use the dark blue and then bring in the light blue because I die cut out the light blue ones. So we'll lay those down on there. And our shows are on. Actually, Pat's watching Tulsa King right now, but we watch Landman. Do you guys watch Landman? And so I'm gonna, when I get done here, I'm gonna go watch that. It is Spellbinders. It is Spellbinders. The only thing that wasn't Spellbinders was this piece of green that was behind there because I just didn't have until I opened that box, I didn't have the green Spellbinders cardstock because I had used it all up. And so the rest of this is all Spellbinders, and it is lovely. I love it. This is, let me show you. We've got all kinds of them going on here. I mean, I've got the gamut. This is Indigo. That's the darkest one. Anne is saying hey to Jana and telling you that she's been lurking. So that's Indigo. And then I've also got, I think I've got Breeze on here is what I've got on there. That's Cosmic Sky, I believe. Do they call it that anymore? Yeah, Cosmic Sky. And I've also got some Windy here and Cascade. So you can see I've got a lot of the blue colors there. That's what I've got. And I don't know how that wound up in between. I don't know how that wound up in between my blues. Oh, okay. Maybe it goes like this. Okay, got out of order. Anyway, but that's all the Spellbinders cardstock, and you can see how lovely it is. I love it. Anyway, so this is Indigo. And my heater is running. I don't know. We've had lovely weather, and I feel like it's supposed to change maybe and not be so lovely, but I'm not sure when. I really don't pay attention to the weather or the news. I find that you're much happier if you don't. So I usually, if I'm getting dressed, I ask Pat, what's the weather? What should I wear? Because I don't really pay attention to any of that. Apart from looking out the window and seeing what it looks like. Janice is still 80 there. No. It was nice. Today I had on this long sleeve shirt, which is filthy because I had the wheelbarrow out and Pat was taking the clippers and clipping all the flowers down. And then I was going along and scooping it all up and putting it in the wheelbarrow. And so my shirt's filthy from that. But anywho, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta get your work done. Now I don't know if we're gonna use any or all of this or what we're gonna use. I'm just putting it together and talking is what I'm doing. That is what I'm doing. Okay. So, and I've got all that glue right there in the center, and it's going to show through my center of my flower. And I don't know if this is the center for this flower or not, but it's what I had in the tray, so I'm going to use it. I actually have some other ones that are die cut out. Here, I must have played with it before because I have some sitting here in this tray. It is a different color, and I think it is Spellbinders. I must have layered that one out double. I could do that. We've got another one. That'd make it look better. Yeah, let's do that. Your AC is still on. Now, one thing we haven't done is we put a big, heavy, heavy comforter on our bed, but we haven't done that yet. We haven't needed that yet. So, at this point, so it must not be that cold yet. So, I'm just going to keep going and just glue all this stuff up. We may not use any of it, but we shall see. Yeah, those, let me look at the packaging. Where is that at? Yeah, they do show it doubled up, and that does look really good. So, and your leaves, you could do two-tone with it. I did die cut some of them out, but I didn't, I did the layered piece, but I didn't die cut out the bottom of it, and so I'm not going to use that for these because I like these ferny looking ones better. Oh, whoops. It's not sticking. Oops, that doesn't look quite right, but there we go. Give it a little turn. So really, I mean, this is a really simple die set. There's not a lot to it. You've got 2 ferns and some leaves and a little bud. And then, I mean, it really isn't. And I don't think it would be that expensive of a set. It's only an S4, so it's not going to be that expensive. So you can pick up something like this fairly inexpensively and really create, you know, some pretty, very pretty cards. So anyway, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. I think what I'll do is I'll put a dimensional right there and I'm going to stick these 2 together like that. And then we can put our bow on there. Not sure that's, I might show through that. Yeah, it's going to, we'll just cut it down. And I'm just going to start, actually, I think I can just double that up because this is a, like I said, 1 millimeter. I'll just double that up, lay that on there, and hopefully we can cover it up with our bow. There we go. And then let's start building a cluster on here. We have got our sentiment ready to go. And I used the silver metallic for the background of it. And we've got some glue on there that we could certainly clean up. That's the only thing. I love the shine that it gives, but it is a challenge to work with. Gluing and kind of keeping the glue at bay on it. So I think I'm going to pick this thing up and see if we can kind of layer these babies up. All right, we're going to just start layering them up. We're going to put the darkest one on the bottom, and then we're going to put this one. Let's just put some glue on there. Let's start attaching these things. Oh, my glue's not wanting to come out. The blue and silver is beautiful. Well, I was thinking, I like blue and silver, and I was thinking silver bells, and I thought, well, this will be really pretty. I like traditional colors, and I know some people, you know, prefer traditional colors. And that's why I was like, well, we'll do a red and green one, and then we'll do a blue one. I also like to use, you know, non-traditional pink and different colors like that as well for my cards. But not everybody likes that, so just have something for everyone. I'm just gonna layer these up. Maybe. They're moving around. Sometimes I'll take like a little circle die cut or a square or something, and I'll build an area where I can glue stuff down. Like I might just take this and we'll just make a little place where we're going to attach all of our things, and hopefully it'll work with our bells that we could cover it up, or we'll get enough stuff laid down on there. But then you can kind of start building your cluster on there, and it just kind of helps everything hold together. I say that and it's all sticking to my fingers, but you can kind of do like that, and then I don't know, we may kind of go in this direction, and then yes, okay, we've got a plan going on here. She has an idea. All right, so I'm going to bring in one of these little foam triangles here, and we're just going to smush down over the top of that hold everything in place. And then we're going to bring in one of our flowers for this side. And we'll bring the other one in from that side. Ooh, I like it. And then we have a cluster. And we can bring our bells in and put underneath it. And we've got us a card coming together. So, all right, let's see. What do I need to do with this? Let's just put some glue on the back of it. And I'm going to leave all my leafy things to kind of hang and just do their own. I'll put a little bit of glue just on the edge and just kind of let them stick up and kind of do their own thing. I'm going high because I want to have room for my sentiment. So I'm going to get that on there. And we've got some good dimension with that I've added on there. That looks pretty. And then we can get this in there. Kind of tuck it up. And I think that looks pretty. I think that's going to work for me. Now, I think I'm going to use these little bitty ones. Where'd they go? The ones that don't have much dimension. Because I'm going to be hard pressed to get that silver to... Oh, I've already put some on there. Good. All right, good deal. I'm not going to be able to get that silver to stick very well. And so if I use this foam, I think it'll help my situation. I put that over there where I don't need it. Come over there. Move that over. Yeah, the metallic just really makes it challenging. Oh my goodness. These little strips are going everywhere. There we go. I'm going to have little squares all over my craft room. Come on, get out of there. Okay, there we go. Still have some backers on there. We got to get them off of there. There we go. All right, now we're going to take this and we're going to tuck it up in there. Ah, get in there. My bow. No, my bow's not going to completely show. I guess I could bring it down a little bit. Maybe. Do it like that. I think that looks pretty. We didn't use this. We don't have to. We don't have to use everything. Let's see. What's everybody doing? Linda Tomaine. Hey, she says, so pretty. Put the bells on the inside, Margot said. Oh, yeah, that'd be a good idea. I think I kind of like this. I think it kind of works. What do you think? I think it kind of works. And then we've got our Merry Christmas. And like I said, that's going to be kind of similar to our other card, except we got a little bit heavier on our cluster and we've got our bells instead of on it. We've got it below there and we were able to bring in the flowers, which I think that's fun. Now for, I'm not going to fight with this metallic. I'm going to just use some foam tape and I'm just going to cut it down into some thin strips and we'll use this to adhere our sentiments so that we don't have to fight getting it to glue down. And I think that will be the smartest thing to do. And these, I think, are a pair of scissors from my kids' school days. And I like to use them on sticky junk. Okay, that's going to work. Now for this one, I have got some silver gems that I'm going to use. I didn't have any gold ones for the other ones, so that's why I didn't put any on there. But for this one, we will have some, so we'll get it laid down on there. And then we'll add some sparkle. Got like all this little, I think it's like glue pieces that are coming off my fingers that are falling on there. Ooh, I like it. I think it's pretty. Could clean up the glue a little bit on there. We had that. That could have, yeah, we don't need, if we had two, it would be fun to put one on this side and then one on that side. But since we don't, we're going to just leave that be. And so we'll bring in our Spellbinders. Oh, I've got a string there. We could have used that on our bell or on our bell. I've got these silver mix gems, and we'll put some on there because we have them. I love the little bitty ones. I think they're cute. Teeny tiny. Well, that one just kind of fell there, so it is going to go there. Oops, and that one's on the desk. I think that's all we're going to do. I think it's really pretty. I think I've got three really delicate, pretty Christmas cards. We've got one that's very traditional with our red and our green. And we've got the matte gold. I think that's really pretty. I'll be looking forward to working with that Spellbinders matte gold cardstock that I showed in the beginning of the video when I did the unboxing. And then we have our blue one, which I'm loving a blue Christmas. Got some glue on there I'm going to have to clean off. But otherwise, I think we're finished. So how's everybody doing? Let's see. What do we got? Put the bells. Oh, okay. That's Margot saying put the bells on the inside. Just trying to roll through the chat. Are we talking about the dog? You can't trust him when... Oh, the cat. Taking things out of your cat and tote is like a smorgasbord. He's like a toddler. Okay. Linda, thank you. Linda said great cards. So if you guys would, I would appreciate it if you would hit that like. I don't have Jim here. Jim's my little reminder. I think Jay said something early on, but if you would hit the like, I would certainly appreciate it. And I appreciate you guys joining me. I know we're getting into the holiday season and it's going to get more and more hectic as far as lives go. But anyway, I've got Jay bumped here. There we go. He ate not at. Dang keyboard on the iPad. Oh, geez. Thanks, emailer. Emailer says gorgeous cards. Denise says pretty cards. So I appreciate you guys watching. But anyway, I think they turned out nice, and I'm going to add them to my Merry Christmas collection. And I'm going to have to stamp the back. I've been terrible about stamping the back and putting my sentiments on the inside. So I need to do that. I'll stamp this while I'm here. And then I will have to add a sentiment to the inside. I do still plan on maybe having a video where I'm showing all of the Christmas cards that I've made this season, which are many, and adding sentiments to the inside and then stamping my thing on the back of them. That didn't stamp very well. I don't know why. Maybe the decorative piece I put on the inside was causing it not to want to stamp. But anyway, well, I'm going to let you guys go. It's 9:07, and I know my husband is wanting to watch that show. And so I appreciate you guys joining me and just hanging out. So it's good to hang out with you guys. So have a great week ahead, and we'll see you soon. So take care. Bye-bye now.